Life is Tracy, wearing my Daddy's Little Monster shirt. Haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. Should be going to see it today with John. I'm really excited. But I love Harley Quinn. I've loved Harley Quinn for like years. She's like one of my favorite characters of all time, so I'm sure I'll love the movie. If I don't love the movie, at least I'll love her, and she's getting her own movie, and that's really great because we need more female characters in, well, everything actually, so yeah, I'm stoked. So, kind of a spur of the moment type video that I just kind of like thought of while I was actually clearing through my magic cards. So, I'm a very like neat and organized person. I'm very like particular about keeping my things very neat and orderly, and when things get too cluttered, that like freaks me out, and I'm like, I need to clean everything. So every once in a while I like to just go through my magic cards and just kind of like see what I have, because let's be real here guys, I forget about a lot of magic cards that I have, because magic cards, the thing about them is like, they're just so small, and so like a lot of times you can just lose track of things and you're like, whoa, I have that card? I do it all the time. Or especially if I'm like playing a deck and I'm like, I didn't even know I had that card in Japanese. That makes me really happy. Love when that happens. So basically, I was going through my magic cards because what I do a lot of times is I see cards, like a lot of times what happens when I'm trading is I don't really see a lot of cards that I really need. And this is probably something that you guys have all experienced too when you're trading with someone, but I'm like, I don't know, I want to like give people cards that they want, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just trade for cards that I don't necessarily like need for decks, but I'll just hang on to them because they're really good modern staples, they're good EDH staples, who knows, maybe I'll build this random deck like 3 years from now and I'll just hang on to this card, whatever. So I would do that a lot, and what I kind of realized is I was like, you know what? I was like, I feel like I just had so many cards, and I started building abs and enchantments, and if you guys have been following me for a couple months now, you know that I've actually been trying to build Superfriends for literally months. Like, I've had the idea that I'm going to build Superfriends in my head for months now. I have had about 85% of the deck done, and you're like, Tracy, why haven't you finished it? I don't know. Because I forgot about the deck. And that's kind of what happens, is that I kind of like lost sight of the deck. And so I trade for these other cards that weren't cards that I needed for that, and then the whole thing was just a mess, and I just had so many magic cards, and I started like abs and enchantments, and then I also started Bant because I really like the color combination of Bant a lot. But here's the thing, is my good friend Krista has a Bant deck, and it's sweet. It's like a blink deck, so it's like really awesome. Rune is the commander, so you just exile your creatures, and then you're like, ah, I just make 36 Avenger of Zendikar tokens, and then you kill your opponent, and it's great. She wins in other ways, but anyways, the deck is really sweet. And I was like, well, I don't want to build her deck, because that's lame, and I'm not going to do that. But I really love Bant, and I was like, what am I going to do? And then I just scrapped the whole thing, because I was like, I'm not going to copy her deck, even though I really want to use the new Tameo in, like, something. Dude, could I put new Tameo in Super Friends? Hold on, I have to figure that out, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, so, and then it was funny, is that John and my mutual friend was like, casually just build Super Friends, and I was like, are you serious? Like, I hope people don't think I'm copying him, because I've thought of this idea for months. There is YouTube record of me talking about this deck, so if someone accuses me on it, I will like dig through my YouTube videos and be like, look, on January 7th of this past year, I talked about building Super Friends, so not copying anyone. Well, I mean, the deck's been around for a while, but like, in my local game store, there's really not anyone who plays it, so I was like, yo, I'll like build this deck and it'll be sweet. So, I lost track of the deck, and I've been like kind of a mess and all over the place because I've just been trying to figure out what I'm doing, and moral of the story is that I just hung on to cards that I'm like, well, maybe I'll build this card. I am so guilty of this. So I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm gonna be an English teacher, and there is something that I do, and it's really bad. What I do is I acquire papers from my classes, my English classes that I've taken, and I hang on to them. So I hang on to my papers because I'm like, we read like these like short stories or something, like say we read this like, I don't know, Ernest Hemingway short story, and I'm like, yo, you never know, 16 years from now, I could teach this story, and I have like a page of notes on it, and I'll definitely want to reference that. So what happens is that I just own so many papers from notes that I took from my classes, and I can't get rid of them. Like, my book collection is just nuts. So moral story is I just have a lot of stuff, and I need to like stop. I just need to stop having so much stuff. And another thing too, with EDH decks is it's like quality versus quantity. So I'd rather have a couple of really awesome EDH decks rather than like 10 meh ones. Another thing too that I really like doing is if you've seen like my Tasigur EDH deck or my Angels EDH deck, I'm a huge fan of foils. I like promos. I like Japanese cards. If a card is like promo Japanese foil, I'm all over it. I want it. I just really like cards that aren't in English. I just don't like really reading. Like, who wants to read their cards? That's really overrated. But I'm a huge fan of just all foreign cards, but I really like the way Japanese cards look in particular. But like Italian, Russian, all of them I like. I just like the way that they look. So I really like the way that those cards look. So like if I had the choice between building a kind of meh EDH deck or like potentially foiling / promoing another deck, I'd pick the latter because I like promo cards and I like shiny cards and I like when I can't read meta cards. So I'm kind of like priorities, what do I want to do with my life and like what cards I want to build and stuff. And I've kind of just like acquired cards and I'm like, I need to let them go. So a couple weeks ago when I was talking to my friend Tyler, he was like, you know, something that would help is maybe if you like downsize your Magic collection. And I was like, yes. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna get rid of some cards. I'm just gonna like let some cards go, some things that I'm like, you know what? If I ever decide to use some of these cards in my binder again, like if one day I'm ever like, wow, I really need a Hornet Queen, guess what? Hornet Queen's probably not gonna be $50. Hopefully not. But, you know, it's like, I'm not letting go of cards that are, like, crazy, like $1 million or something like that. I'm just kind of, like, a couple, like, smaller cards that I'm just like, I just, like, don't want these cards on my binder anymore. So that I can finish Super Friends, I can get the remainder cards. I think I need about, like, 15 cards for the deck. Something like that. So I don't really need that many cards for it, and then I can, like, finish that and then tweak that deck, and it'll be sweet. And, yeah, that's what I want to do. And just kind of like, I'm slowly like getting my life organized and like getting things organized because I feel like I just own so many things and that just like overwhelms me because I just want to be like a minimalist, you know? I just want to like own the things that like I need in my life and I don't really want that much excess. You guys should seriously, I spent like hours like the last week just organizing my papers because of how many papers I have, like I say, because you know, I'm close to getting my bachelor's and I have so many papers from English classes and teaching classes that I'm like, I never know when I'm gonna need these. But let's be real here. The reality is I got rid of so many papers because I'm not going to look back on them. I'm just not. It's just not the reality. I just have so many papers that it's like, I just need to like let go. And with my Magic collection, you know, I'm kind of like over like having, I don't want to say like I'm over having a collection. I just want my decks. And then I want, like, a modern binder. Like, I want decks that I love, like my EDH decks, and then I want, like, my main modern deck, and then I want, like, a modern binder so that I can change decks, like, whenever I want. That's what I want. I don't want to own, like, extra cards. I don't want to, like, hang on to this card and be like, maybe one day I'll build an EDH deck with this. No, I need to stop doing that. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to be like, yeah, I don't really see anything in your binder, I'm okay. You know, I'll always trade, I don't want to say always, but like, I'll trade for modern staples, like, if someone wants my standard cards and then I'll get modern cards out of them, sounds good to me, I'll do that. But yeah, I'm just kind of over hoarding and like collecting stuff that I don't need. Just over that. Decluttering your life. Super great thing. There's like tons of videos about it on YouTube if you want to look into that. I'm really big into organization on like making things look nice. So maybe I miss my true calling in life. I should be like a, I don't know, interior decorator or something and then help people like, you know, keep their life, not an interior decorator, like a, I actually thought about interior decorating. I thought of so many things before deciding on English education, which is so weird to think about. Like, if you're in your life and you're like, have a job, and then you think about things that you almost went to school for, and you're like, wow, I almost went to school for that? Yeah, that's what I do all the time. Just like, what? I would so not be good at that. I almost went to school to be a lawyer? Ew, why would I do that? That sounds awful. For me. For other people, it's fine, but for me, no. Why would I do that? So, I feel like I sound like I've had like a lot of caffeine or something. I really haven't. I had some tea, but that doesn't really count. it's like I'm really awake and I just really wanted to talk to you guys. So, is there anything else I want to say? So yeah, I'm gonna finish off Superfriends, and once I get the remaining cards for it, I will definitely do a deck tech for you guys, but it'll take a bit because I need to, I want to like get the deck to a point where I like it and I'm happy with it. But you know what? I do like doing updated deck techs. I think they're really fun. I think it's fun to see like the way that the deck started and the way that the deck is going now. Superfriends is a very, very weird deck because it's one of those decks that like, it's so weird because it's not even just that it's 5 color. It's weird because it's like, I just don't know, like, if I have enough of everything. I don't know, like, I have enough planeswalkers. I think I'm averaging about 24 planeswalkers, which some may seem as high, some may see as low. I don't really know. I feel like I need more mana ramp as of right now. I think that's the one thing that I was really prioritizing getting is the remaining planeswalkers. And another thing, too, is figuring out which planeswalkers are, like, really, really good. And just, like, I know there's some planeswalkers in some lists that I don't really understand. Because the thing about the planeswalkers is that, you know, a lot of them are really good with creatures, but I want planeswalkers that make creatures so that they can protect my planeswalkers. It's kind of got, like, a token theme because a lot of the planeswalkers make tokens. And I'm just gonna kind of like see like how it goes, but I think as of right now, I think I really need more mana rocks and mana ramp. I think that's like the main thing that I'm kind of like gonna be focusing on. It's got quite a bit of board wipes. Like it just, I feel like the deck right now has a very high mana cost, but I gotta like figure that out and I gotta like see. I think I just gotta like, there's a lot of stuff that I gotta figure out with this deck. I gotta see how the deck plays. I gotta play test it a lot, but like I said, I've had this deck in my head for such a long time. I've had, like, this idea that I'd build this deck for so long, and I'm just so excited because, you know what? I took it out of my closet today, and I was like, I gotta get this thing going. Like, I've had it in my closet, sitting in its deck box. The deck is, like, it's beautiful. Like, it's just, let me grab it. It's just so sweet. Like, I was looking through it, and it's, like, it's just, looking at planeswalkers all grouped together makes me really happy. But, okay, I'm opening my deck box the wrong way. There we go. Okay. Another thing I want to do is I want to full art lands. That's, like, a priority of mine, is I want to full art lands at some point. But these are all the planeswalkers that I have collected as of right now. Give you guys a little peeksies in my deck. You can see the glare is so bad. Stop glaring. I casually just have this French Chandra Nalar. What? What? That's so weird. I don't know if you guys can see. I hope you guys can see this glare is like super bad. I got a nurse set. I got a nurse set for this deck and I'm so excited. I also got a Tameo. I'm so excited about Tameo. That's it for the planeswalkers. And I also want to let you guys peek into something so beautiful that I love. How beautiful my collection of my oaths are. So I have a promo Oath of Nissa. I have a promo Japanese Jace. I'm sorry, it's not. It's a pack foil Japanese Jace. Oath of Jace. Then I have a promo foil Oath of Nissa. And then a promo foil Oath of Gideon. This is, like, so beautiful, and I'm so excited. By the way, I don't think I'm going to be running Oath of Chandra. I want to for flavor purposes so that I can just have all 5, but I honestly don't think she's that good from what I can see, but I'm not too sure. I honestly just may get her for, like, just the sake of having her so that I can have all 5. And, by the way, it really doesn't bother me that Jace is in Japanese and not promo. I know some people get really bothered by that, like, they want their things to match. For me, like I said, if I have promo cards, foil cards, full art cards, Japanese cards, like, I'm happy. I'm just that's it. That's it. I know some people are like way more specific about it, but yeah. So I've been working on this deck for a while, and I will definitely do a deck tech because I know some people were asking about that, and I am so stoked. So yeah, that was it. That was it for my like rambly, all over the place kind of like video talking about Superfriends. yeah. Talk to you guys later. Bye.